Football is a beautiful game, but it also creates an environment filled with ego and pressure to win. Confrontation is a part of the job, and any locker room can turn into a war zone after a bad half of play. Here are some of the craziest, stupidest, and most violent locker room fights in football history. Sir Alex Ferguson kicked a shoe at David Beckham. When most people think of Sir Alex Ferguson's time at Manchester United, they think of the happy times and trophy-laden seasons. However, the legendary manager did suffer major setbacks during his time at Old Trafford, both on and off the pitch. One such incident occurred in 2003 after an FA Cup defeat at home to Arsenal. When United's defeated players got back to the dressing room, things got heated. Sir Alex Ferguson was not happy with the way Beckham played in that game. Former United player Diego Forlan recently revealed, in the locker room, Ferguson and Beckham began to insult each other. Every insult was worse than the last one, and both men wanted to have the final word. Then Ferguson left it and it seemed that the discussion was over, but then Beckham said something else. Ferguson turned around and saw a boot lying on the floor and kicked it towards Beckham. A stud hit him in the eyebrow and he was cut, Forlan recalled. We all saw blood and thought, no, that didn't happen, but within a moment both men were getting ready to fight. That was when Roy Keane and Van Nistelrooy stepped in to separate them. After the games, Becks left Old Trafford with plaster over stitches above his left eye. Beckham wasn't entirely frozen out after that incident, but he left for Real Madrid at the end of the season. However, Becks has always said that the incident itself was blown out of proportion and everything is good now.
Into the changing room, we had a couple of words and he started to walk over to me and he kicked a pile of clothes on the floor and out came this boot and hit me. And then I realised how actually accurate he was.
Cesc Fabregas threw pizza on Sir Alex Ferguson's face. The Battle of the Buffet or Pizzagate is one of the most legendary matches in football history. It's because United ended Arsenal's historic 49-match unbeaten run. After the game, players from both teams started fighting in the tunnel and Sir Alex Ferguson ended up with pizza all over him after a member of the away dressing room threw it at him. Cesc Fabregas was the rumoured pizza throwing culprit, and after 13 years, Fabregas finally confirmed his guilt, although he insists that he didn't mean to hit Ferguson.
So imagine, I couldn't do anything from the back, and I just was upset, and I just threw pizza. And I didn't even know where it fell. I promise. I was meant to hit someone on the other side, obviously, but after that they told me that that it hit Ferguson on the face, which obviously I apologize 10,000 times.
Sir Alex Ferguson himself had written about the incident in his autobiography. He wrote, "The next thing I knew, I had pizza all over me. We put food into the away dressing room after every game. Pizza, chicken, most clubs do it. Arsenal's food was the best." They say it was Cesc Fabregas who threw the pizza at me, but to this day, I have no idea who the culprit was. Now he knows who it is. Roy Keane knocked out his teammate. Back in 2004, Gabriel Heinz joined Manchester United and soon became a fan favourite. Heinz was even voted United's Player of the Season in the 2004-2005 season. However, Heinz lost his place in the title-winning team in the 2006-2007 season to Patrice Evra after returning from a cruciate injury and wanted to leave Old Trafford in the summer of 2007. Liverpool made an offer to sign Heinz and he wanted to join United's bitter rivals as well, but Sir Alex Ferguson didn't let that happen. Before Heinz fell out with Ferguson, he got on the wrong side of Roy Keane. Heinz later revealed that Roy Keane knocked him out after the next game. Heinz said, "We lost the game and I went in the dressing room first and Roy Keane was second. I like to go first after the game. I didn't want to speak to anyone as we lost," Heinz told Argentine television. "I didn't understand English, just the bad words. I heard my name and fuck off by Roy Keane. I knew that was bad, so I stood up to him, this idol of Manchester, this great guy who everyone loved, and replied, 'Fuck off you.' I don't remember what happened next." Heinz was then asked if Keane knocked him out and he replied, "Yes." Zlatan Ibrahimovic stuffed his teammate into a trash bin. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is an icon and his brash behaviour often stands out. Once Zlatan ran out of patience after constant teasing from AC Milan hardman Gennaro Gattuso, and he made sure that his colleague would think twice in the future. Chelsea defender Thiago Silva, who shared the Milan dressing room at the time, recently spoke about the fight between Zlatan and Gattuso. Silva said, "The protagonist of this story is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. One day during a training session, Gattuso spent all morning teasing Zlatan. He He was provoking him, and Zlatan took it without apparently saying anything. In fact, his revenge would come soon after. Gattuso and Zlatan met again in the dressing room after training, and Ibra lifted the entire weight of his teammate, flipped him over and threw him in the bin. It was crazy. We all started laughing thinking about Gattuso's face. I swear, I couldn't stop laughing for a week. But there is no bad blood between them now. Gattuso even spoke positively about his former teammate following his return to Milan in early 2020, saying that he was even stronger than he was during their time playing together. Marcus Rojo almost killed the security guards. If you don't know about Boca Juniors, here's a clip of Matt Damon explaining how wild they are.
We had to get through, I think, 3 police barricades. There was temporary fencing with barbed wire put up. I mean, it was just absolute madness. And police with riot gear outside. And if this is the field, people were sitting here and people were sitting here. Kind of like as if in the 2 end zones, what would be end zones of our football. And there was nobody sitting in the best seats, right? Because that was the distance that people could throw things and hit each other.
Last year, Boca Juniors were knocked out of the quarterfinals on penalties against Atletico Mineiro after no goals were scored across the 2 legs, while only Rojo netted his penalty. Boca lost a shootout 3-1 in Belo Horizonte, but Boca's players and coaching staff were livid and felt they had 2 goals wrongly ruled out by VAR over the 2 legs, and emotions erupted after the final whistle. Boca's players stormed out of their dressing room and started throwing over barriers and metal railings as they tried to find the match officials. Rojo was one of the main aggressors, leading the charge. He even appeared to throw a punch at a security guard who hit the deck before running away. Rojo was so angry that he snatched a fire extinguisher off the wall and tried to throw it at security guards in front of him. Fortunately, he was stopped by his teammates who realized that things were getting out of hand. Eventually, Brazilian police got involved and even used tear gas to try and calm down the situation. 7 players, including Rojo, as well as Boca's goalkeeping coach, were charged by police. HeungMin and Hugo Lloris clash. HeungMin is a likeable guy, just like Andreas Iniesta, N'Golo Kante, and Juan Mata. But on rare occasions, one can lose his charm, and Son lost his charisma after he fought his Spurs skipper Hugo Lloris. The fight happened because Everton's Richarlison almost scored a goal moments before half-time, and Son didn't track back to help in defence. That left Lloris furious, and his emotions got the better of him. The fight was so intense that the Spurs duo had to be separated by teammates. Footage from Spurs' All or Nothing documentary shows the aftermath of a heated clash between Son and Lloris. As the players made their way into the locker room, cameras picked up on Lloris walking towards a furious Son Heung-min. Son was ranting after their on-field fight. Lloris then started charging towards Son, while defender Serge Aurier held the goalkeeper back. Jose Mourinho was the Spurs manager at the time. He called a team meeting in the dressing room and addressed the awkward situation as an experienced manager should. Footage soon pans to the full-time whistle, where Son and Lloris can be seen embracing each other after winning the game as Spurs picked up the 3 points. Mourinho called the fire exchange beautiful after the full-time whistle. Messi and Ter Stegen spat. This might be one of the silliest fallouts in football history. Lionel Messi and Marc-Andre Ter Stegen had a locker room bust-up. Why? Because Messi voted for Keylor Navas as the best goalkeeper, followed by Manuel Neuer and Jan Oblak, ahead of his teammate Ter Stegen in the FIFA Best Awards in 2020. Bayern Munich's Neuer eventually scooped the award for his brilliant performances that saw Hans Flick's side lift a historic treble in 2020. Messi's decision to overlook Barca's shot stopper did not sit well with Ter Stegen, and he was even considering his future at the club despite renewing his contract at the time. Messi and Ter Stegen clashed once more after Barcelona's Supercopa España semi-final against Real Sociedad in January 2021. Messi, who did not play in the game, was enraged at Ter Stegen's performance and refused to shake his hand after Barca's victory. Ter Stegen confirmed allegations of his strained relationship with Lionel Messi in a recent interview with DFB. The most astonishing thing, though, is that the German goalkeeper has left out Messi from his Dream 11. What's more surprising is that both Neymar and Luis Suarez didn't get the nod from Ter Stegen either. Well, each to their own. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification so you don't miss out on any of our videos. Catch you in the next one. Bye!